The ancient Tamil poet Ilango Adigal, in his Shilapatikaran, describes the Kaveri. Neither Saturn nor the comets wandering in the sky, nor brilliant Venus whose descent towards the southern star signals the coming of a drought can perturb Kaveri. The river, born of a thunderbolt in the wind-swept and rain-kissed mountains of Kodagu, spreading prosperity through wherever she passes, she runs into the swelling tides which bring to her the treasures of the sea. Poompuhar, the estuary in Tamil Nadu where Kaveri meets the Bay of Bengal, signals the end of her glorious journey, which in fact begins in the faraway hills of Kodagu, also known as Coorg, a district of Karnataka. It's no exaggeration to say that the river Kaveri is the lifeline of the south of India, feeding, nurturing, protecting and sustaining life. During her long journey, she sees along her banks pulsating cities, dense, verdant forests, vibrant biodiversity and devout religious activity.
ನಮ್ಮ ಹಿರಿಯರು ಸ್ಕಾಂದ ಪುರಾಣದ ಆಧಾರದಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಕಥೆಯನ್ನು ತಿಳಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಮುಖ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಕವೇರ ಮುನಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಸಂತಾನ ಭಾಗ್ಯ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಅವರು ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರವಾಗಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತಲಕಾವೇರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸೃಷ್ಟಿಕರ್ತನಾದಂತಹ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮನನ್ನು ಕುರಿತು ಅವರು ತಪಸ್ಸು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ನನಗೆ ಒಂದು ಸಂತಾನ ಪ್ರಾಪ್ತಿ ಆಗಬೇಕು, ವರವನ್ನು ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಅಂಥೇಳಿ. ಬ್ರಹ್ಮನ ಇವರ ತಪಸ್ಸಿಗೆ ಮೆಚ್ಚಿ ಅವರ ಮಾನಸಪುತ್ರಿಯಾದಂಥ ಲೋಪಾಮುದ್ರೆಯನ್ನು ಮಗಳಾಗಿ ಕವೇರ ಮುನಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಹಾಗೆ ತಲಕಾವೇರಿಯ ಕವೇರ ಆಶ್ರಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಅವಳು ದೊಡ್ಡದಾಗಿ ಬೆಳೀತಾ ಇರಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಮುನಿಶ್ರೇಷ್ಠರಾದಂತಹ ಅಗಸ್ತ್ಯರು ಕಾವೇರಿಯ ಈ ಸನ್ನಿಧಾನಕ್ಕೆ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ, ಈ ತಲಕಾವೇರಿಗೆ. ಅವರಿಗೆ ವೈವಾಹಿಕ ಜೀವನಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಅಪೇಕ್ಷೆಯನ್ನು ವ್ಯಕ್ತಪಡಿಸ್ತಾರೆ ಕವೇರ ಮುನಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ. ಆದರೆ ಲೋಪಾಮುದ್ರೆಗೆ ಈ ವೈವಾಹಿಕ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ಆಸಕ್ತಿ ಇರುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. ಲೋಪಾಮುದ್ರೆ, ಆಯಿತು ಈ ಮದುವೆಗೆ ನಾನು ಒಪ್ಪಿಕೊಳ್ತೇನೆ, ಆದರೆ ನನ್ನದೊಂದು ಷರತ್ತಿದೆ, ಮದುವೆಯ ನಂತರ ನನ್ನನ್ನು ಒಂದು ದಿನವೂ ಕೂಡ ಅಗಲಿ ಇರಬಾರ್ದು. ಅಗಸ್ತ್ಯರು ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ನನ್ನ ಒಪ್ಪಿಗೆ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಒಪ್ಪಿಕೊಂಡು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವಿವಾಹ ಮಹೋತ್ಸವವು ಬಹಳ ವಿಜೃಂಭಣೆಯಿಂದ ನಡೀತದೆ. ಒಂದು ದಿನ ಪ್ರಾತಃ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಗಸ್ತ್ಯರು ಅವರ ಸ್ನಾನ ಇತ್ಯಾದಿಗಳು ಆನ್ನಿಕಗಳನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರವಾಗಿ ಶಿಷ್ಯರ ಒಡಗೂಡಿ ಪ್ರಾತಃ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಹೋಗಿ ಹಿಂತಿರುಗಿ ಬರುವಾಗ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ತಡ ಆಗ್ತದೆ.
ಕಾವೇರಿ ಎದ್ದು ನೋಡುವಾಗ ಇವರು ಮಾತು ತಪ್ಪಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದ ಮಾತನ್ನು ತಪ್ಪಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅದರಿಂದ ನಾನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಲ್ಲುವುದಿಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋ ಸಿಟ್ಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಜಲರೂಪವಾಗಿ ಹರಿದು ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಆಗ ಅಲ್ಲಿದ್ದ ನೆರೆ ಶಿಷ್ಯ ವೃದ್ಧದವರೆಲ್ಲ ತಡೀತಾರೆ ಹೋಗುವುದು ಬೇಡವೇ. ಅವರಿಗೆ ಕಾಣಿಸಿಕೊಳ್ಳದೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ದೂರ ಕಾಣದ ಹಾಗೆ ಗುಪ್ತಗಾಮಿಯಾಗಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ.
ಮಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲೂ ಕಾಣೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅವಳು, ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಭಾಗಮಂಡಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾಳೆ ಅವಳು ಕಾವೇರಿ. ಅಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ ಎಲ್ಲೂ ಕಾಣೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಗುಪ್ತಗಾಮಿನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ.
The Kaveri itself is 800 kilometers long and it has many tributaries, the chief of which is the Kabini or the Kapila as it's called. Lokapavani, you have the Lakshmana Tirtha, you have the Shimsha, and then in the south you have the Bhavani.
I felt like she's more like a heroine, like, you know, taking all the water and, you know, flowing very majestically. So I feel tributaries are also very important, but then Kaveri is Kaveri.
Envisage a water body flowing across, you know, the whole of India. It crosses the whole of India. I think that's what's astounding about that river, is that you can see the ocean from that point, right up on the Brahmagiri range. You see the ocean, but the Kaveri turns its back on the ocean and decides to go across the whole of India.
So the Kaveri has, in her course of flow, all this area has become very fertile. Tanjavur belt is known for its Tanjavur rice. It is world famous rice, like basmati rice in Western countries.
As she flows, the Kaveri irrigates not only paddy and sugarcane fields along the way, but also the fertile imagination of poets. Nadandai Vari Kaveri, says Ilango Adigal. Poet Tyagaraja describes her as a bride rushing to meet her bridegroom, the ocean, in his Kriti, Sari Vedale. Muthuswami Dikshitar describes her as Akshaya Rupa, Akhanda Kaveri, in his Kriti, Neelakantam Vajeham. And even Sri Anirban, a Bengali saint who described her in a collection of poems, Kaveri. From the ancient times, the river Kaveri has been luring people to her banks and charming them, inspiring them to undertake great journeys along with her.
Ever since my childhood, I had a dream to trace a river from the start of it to the end of it. So we did a drive from the start of Kaveri, that is from Kodagu, to where it joins the Bay of Bengal, that is Pumbuhar, in 5 days. The agenda and the theme was very simple: go as far as possible along with Kaveri, cross it at as many bridges as possible, and see how it looks.
I study otters, and in 2012 we started this work along the Kaveri, and we were primarily interested in seeing how otters are faring in this rapidly changing riverscape. So what we did is we started in Bhagamandla, which is near the source of the Kaveri, and journeyed all the way to Mettur Dam, which is in Tamil Nadu, where Kaveri enters state.
I was at one with the river for 4 months, so that's a long time. And every day I thought about it, and every day I photographed it, and every day we walked along it, we took boats on it, whether it was a coracle with the fishermen in Sringapatna, or the coracle in Hoganikal as well.
Many temples, small and big, dot the banks of the river Kaveri. The most prominent among them, the 3 Ranganatha temples, where the deity is in a reclining position on the serpent god. Legend has it that Kaveri prayed to Lord Vishnu to have him as a child playing on her lap. Lord Vishnu granted her the wish. And interestingly, the 3 temples are situated on the 3 island towns of Srirangapatna, Shivanasamudra, and Srirangam. Legend also has it that to visit all 3 temples in the same day assures one the path to moksha, the ultimate liberation.
The Kaveri itself has supported biodiversity. River otters is one species, the mashit is another species, the bird sanctuary at Ranganthittu, the beautiful Kokreballur on the banks of the Shimsha, which is a tributary of the Kaveri, the bridges that have been built there, the old Hale Setway or the Lord Wellesley Bridge 1804 at Srirangapatna, the KRS Dam, for its time the largest earthen dam in the world. Fabulous feats of engineering, Kannambadi Katte as it's called in Kannada. So these are engineering feats of nature with birds, biodiversity, feats of religion and spirituality, all on the banks of the Kaveri.
ಅದು ಏನು ಕಾವೇರಿದ್ದು ಸ್ಪ್ಲೆಂಡರ್ ನೀವು ನೋಡಿದರೆ ಅದು ಮಳೆಗಾಲ ಸಮುದ್ರ ಏನು ಕಾವೇರಿ ಮಹಿಮೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿಸಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡು ಏನು ಹರಿತಾಳೆ
ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಭೂರನೆ ದೇವ ಸನ್ನಿಧಿ ಬಯಸಿ ಭಿಮ್ಮನೆ ಬಂದಳೋ, ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಮೋಹನಗಿರಿಯ ಬೆರಗಿನ ರೂಪಿನಿಂದಲಿ ನಿಂದಳೋ, ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಗಿಲಲಿ ಮಿಂಚಿನೋಳ್ ಕಾವೇರಿ ಹೊಳೆ ಹೊಳೆ ಹೊಳೆವಳೋ, ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನೆಲವನು ತಣಿಸಿ ಜನಮನ ಹೊಲದ ಕಳೆ ಕಳೆ ಕಳೆವಳೋ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಕಡೆ ನೋಡಲ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಡಗರ ನಾಡಲ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಕಡೆ ನೋಡಲ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಡವರ ಬೀಡಲ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಡವರ ಬೀಡಲ.
Ours is Coorg, Kodagu it's called. I'm a Kodoti. It's a very, very small district in Karnataka. The smallest district, and it is about 60 miles from 40 miles. That's how small it is.
ಇದು ವೀರರ ಸೂರರ ನಾಡಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಡವ ಜನಾಂಗವೇ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಜನಾಂಗವಾಗಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಳಷ್ಟು ವರ್ಷಗಳ ಕಾಲ ರಾಜ್ಯಭಾರ ಮಾಡಿದಿದೆ. ಪಾಳೆಗಾರರು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ರಾಜ್ಯಭಾರ ಮಾಡ್ತಾಯಿದ್ರು. ತದನಂತರ ಕೊಡಗನ್ನು ಹಾಲೇರಿ ವಂಶದ ರಾಜ್ಯ ಒಂದು 500-600 ವರ್ಷದ ಈಚೆಗೆ ಕೊಡಗನ್ನು ರಾಜ್ಯಭಾರ ಮಾಡಿದರು.
We are totally into plantation, completely into coffee and pepper, cardamom, and there's orange and lots of spices as well. Coorg has its own culture, own tradition. The dress code is different, and you know, if you see me, I am dressed in a Coorgi sari, a Coorgi attire. And sometime back, you saw a gentleman, wearing the Kodava kuppe chale. So that's how we dress up here.
Along the route where Kaveri flows, there is a place called Balamuri. Kodava ladies begged her not to go, not to live there. And because of the force of the river Kaveri water, their sari turned back. That is the reason why Kodava ladies wear saris backwards.
Each Kodava has their own family name, be it Kakamada, Naliyanda, Kuttanda, etc. Something like this. It goes on. We have more than 240 family names.
ನಮ್ಮ ಮದುವೆ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಕೂಡ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಇದೆ. ಕೊಡವರ ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತಿ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಊರು ಕೊಡುವ ದಿವಸ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಅವತ್ತು ಸಾಯಂಕಾಲ ನಾವು ಅವರ ಹುಡುಗಿಯ ತಾಯಿ ತಪ್ಪಿದ್ರೆ ಹತ್ತಿರದ ಸಂಬಂಧಿ ಚಿಕ್ಕಮ್ಮ ಗಿಕ್ಕಮ್ಮ ಯಾರಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವರು ಅವರಿಗೆ ಪತಾಕ ಕಟ್ಟುವುದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋ ಸಂಪ್ರದಾಯ ಇದೆ. ನಾವು ಹುಟ್ಟುವಾಗ ಗುಂಡು ಹೊಡಿತೀವಿ, ಸತ್ತಾಗ ಸಂಸ್ಕಾರ ಮಾಡೋ ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲೂ ಗುಂಡು ಹೊಡಿತೀವಿ. ಈ ಗುಂಡಿಗೆ ಬಹಳ ಮಹತ್ವವಿದೆ. ನಾವು ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ನಾನ್ ವೆಜ್ಗಳು, ನಾವು ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಮಾಂಸಾಹಾರಿಗಳು, ಸಸ್ಯಾಹಾರಿಗಳಲ್ಲ. ಕ್ಷತ್ರಿಯರು, ಬಹಳ ವಿದ್ಯಾಪ್ರಿಯರು. ಭಾರತ ದೇಶದ ಪ್ರಥಮ ದಂಡನಾಯಕನಾಗಿ ಕಮಾಂಡರ್ ಆಗಿ ಜನರಲ್ KM ಕರೆಪ್ಪನವರು ಇದ್ದರು. ಅನಂತರ ಜನರಲ್ KS ತಿಮ್ಮಯ್ಯನವರು ಈ ದೇಶದ ದಂಡನಾಯಕನಾಗಿದ್ದರು. ಈ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ಯುದ್ಧ ಪರಂಪರೆ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಜನಾಂಗದವರು ನಾವು.
Our main god is goddess Kaveri, and of course Lodi Guttappa. So if there's say a function in Coorg or anything at all, any good thing, or even if there is a death, in the family, the first thing what we do is we bow in front of goddess Kaveri, take her blessings, and then proceed with the rituals.
For every September 3rd, we are having one good festival. It is called Kailpodu. And apart from that, we are having another festival is called Uttari. It comes in the month of November and December. We will cut the paddy crop, and we will getting that paddy crops inside the house. That means we are bringing Lakshmi to the house. And simultaneously, you will worship the river goddess also, Kaveri also in the same day.
In Coorg, she is not like a river. She is like much more than a river for us. Kaveri Tayi antane ನಾವು ಹೇಳೋದು.
ಒಮ್ಮತವು ಒಗ್ಗಟ್ಟು ಒಂದೇ ಮನವು ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆ ಹೇಳಿರಿ, ಸುಮ್ಮನಿತ್ತರೋ ದಟ್ಟಿ ಕುಪ್ಪಸ ಹಾಡು ಹುತ್ತರಿಗೇಳಿರಿ, ಚಿನ್ನಿ ಪಾತುರೆ ಕೋಲ ಹೊಯ್ಲಿಗೆ ಕುಣಿವ ಪದ ಹೊರ ಹೊಮ್ಮಲಿ, ಅಮ್ಮೆ ಹರಸಿದ ಸೀಮೆ ನಮಗಿದು ಇರಲಿ ನಮ್ಮದೆ ನಮ್ಮಲಿ, ನೆಮ್ಮದಿಯನಿದು ತಾಳಲಿ ಅಮ್ಮೆಯ ಬಲ ತೋಳಲಿ, ನೆಮ್ಮದಿಯನಿದು ತಾಳಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಕೊಡಗಿದು ಬಾಳಲಿ.
ಆ ಕಾವೇರಿ ಮಾತೆಯ ಸಂಗಮ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರ ಭಾಗಮಂಡಲ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾವೇರಿ ಕನ್ನಿಕೆಯೊಂದಿಗೆ ಸುಜ್ಯೋತಿ ಗುಪ್ತಗಾಮಿನಿಯಾಗಿದ್ದಾಳೆ ಅನ್ನುವ ನಂಬಿಕೆ ನಮ್ಮದು. ಅಂಥ ಸಂಗಮ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರ ಭಾಗಮಂಡಲ.
Talakaveri is perched 4,187 feet above the mean sea level. On a clear day, you should be able to see the Arabian Sea from atop the hill Brahmagiri. It takes a 8-kilometer verdant drive from Bhagamandala to reach this little hamlet, one of the treasures nestled among the Western Ghats. This is where the Kaveri takes birth. It is a hub for millions of pious devotees who arrive here year after year to pay reverence to the holy place where the river takes birth. And it is here that there lives a noble family of Achars who, for generations, against all odds, braving every kind of discomfort, have been offering daily puja at the temple to maintain the sanctity of this holy place.
ತಲಕಾವೇರಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ 4 ಪರ್ವತ ಶ್ರೇಣಿಗಳ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಇರುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಗಿರಿ, ಅಗ್ನಿಗಿರಿ, ವಾಯುಗಿರಿ, ಗಜರಾಜಗಿರಿ.
The fog that sets in the hills and the temple area, something out of this world. That it comes middle of the day, all of a sudden you'll see the mist coming in, the fog, everything just becomes so quiet. And I've experienced that actually being in the house, in my grandfather's house. These days when you go, there's hundreds and hundreds and thousands of people that come there to visit. When I used to go as a kid, there are hardly any people that came to the temple, so I was lucky to have spent a lot of time alone or with very few of my family members in the temple, in the hills, walking around and just experiencing everything.
According to my father, great sages, I believe, used to be there in the evening hours underneath the trees and worshipping the God. And we humans, and we are not supposed to see them because they are gods. So my grandfather used to tell my father not to look this side and that side because that is the time for prayer. So that's one thing he told me about. The place is very, is a place where the gods come to pray. I believe it had rare medicinal value plants, and a lot of Germans used to come there and collect it.
And the temple complex consists of mainly the Kaveri is the main temple deity. There is no shape, there is no structure, nothing. It's just a pond of water. That is the main deity, and that is the main Kaveri temple. 100 feet above the temple, there is one deity called Agasteshwara, and there is another one there left to it, which is called Ganesha. Just behind the Kaveri temple complex, there is a big expanse of forest, which is virgin forest. There is a kind of noise that comes, a high frequency noise that comes out of the forest. That is a very unique kind of sound that you get coming from a stillness.
ಆದಿಕಾಲದಿಂದಲೇ ತಲಕಾವೇರಿಯ ಒಂದು ನಿತ್ಯ ನಿರಂತರವಾಗಿ ಆ ತಾಯಿಗೆ ಸೇವೆ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದಿರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕುಟುಂಬಸ್ಥರೇ ಇಂದಿನ ಅಲ್ಲಿಯ ಆಚಾರ್ಯ ಕುಟುಂಬಸ್ಥರು. ಅವರು ಈಗ ಮನೆ ಹೆಸರನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಟಿ ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ಸಂಕೇತದ ಹಿಂದೆ ತಲಕಾವೇರಿ ಅನ್ನತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದಿದೆ. ಅದು ತಲತಲಾಂತರದಿಂದ ಈಗ ಅವರು ಕುಲಪುರೋಹಿತರಾಗಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸೇವೆಯನ್ನು ನೆರವೇರಿಸಿಕೊಂಡು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ.
This is about 25 to 30 years ago. One Mr. Venkapaya, who is ahead of me, 7th generation he was actually. I am the 7th generation after him. He and his wife, they used to come to Talakaveri every year for that auspicious occasion called the Tula Sankramana. The Maharaja at that time, Lingaraja Ars number 2, one day I believe had a dream. And in the dream, Kaveri, the goddess Kaveri appeared, and she directed him to call Venkapaya, who was at that time at Talakaveri. And this Maharaja sent word to him and summoned him to his court. So Maharaja said to Venkapaya, from tomorrow onwards, you will have to perform the puja
at Talkaveri every day in the morning and in the evening, because before that there was no regular puja conducted at Talkaveri. Occasionally puja used to be performed. That's how we got the right to perform puja at Talkaveri.
ತಲಕಾವೇರಿ ಆಚಾರ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿಯವರು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ. ಅವರು ಪೂಜೆ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾವೇರಿ ಒಲಿತಾಳೆ, ಅವರೇ ಪೂಜೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳುವಂಥ ಒಂದು ಅಭಿಪ್ರಾಯವು ಕೂಡ ಈಗಲೂ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ, ಈ ಹಿಂದೆಯೂ ನಡೆದಿತ್ತು. ಅವರೇನು ದೇವರ ಎದುರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಂತು ಪ್ರಾರ್ಥನೆ ಮಾಡಿದರು ಅದೇ ಸಕ್ಸಸ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳುವಂಥದ್ದು ಕೂಡ ಜನರಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ನಂಬಿಕೆ ಇದೆ. ಈಗಲೂ ಕೂಡ ತಲಕಾವೇರಿಗೆ ಹೋದರೆ ಆಚಾರ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ನಾವು ಪೂಜೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ. ಆಚಾರ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅವರ ಕೈಯಿಂದ ಪ್ರಸಾದ ತೀರ್ಥ ಪ್ರಸಾದ ತಗೊಂಡು ಬಂದರೆ ಯಾತ್ರೆಯೂ ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಆ ತಲಕಾವೇರಿ ತೀರ್ಥ ಸ್ನಾನಕ್ಕೂ ಪುಣ್ಯ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳುವಂಥದ್ದು ನಂಬಿಕೆ.
When we perform puja, we have to take a dip there and then only we can perform puja, not otherwise. And it is so freshening, so good to have a dip at the temple in Talkaveri, the Kaveri water. It has definitely got healing effect, it has definitely got medicinal qualities.
ನಾವು ಸಂಕಲ್ಪ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡುವ ಮಂತ್ರ ಹೇಳಿ ಇದು ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಗಂಗೆ ಯಮುನೆ ಚೈವ ಗೋದಾವರಿ ಸರಸ್ವತಿ ನರ್ಮದೆ ಸಿಂಧು ಕಾವೇರಿ ಜಲೇಸ್ಮಿನ್ ಸನ್ನಿಧಿಂ ಕುರು, ಜಲರೂಪದಲ್ಲಿ ಸನ್ನಿಧಿಯಾಗಿ ಆಗಲಿ ಅಂತ ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತದಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೇ ಮಾಡೋದು. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಲೈಫ್.
अच्छस्वच्छलसद्दुकूलवसनां पद्मासनाध्यासिनीं हस्तन्यस्तवराभयाब्जकलशां राकेन्दुकोटिप्रभां भासद्भूषणगन्धमाल्यरुचिरां चारुप्रसन्नाननां श्रीगङ्गाधिसमस्ततीर्थनिलयां ध्यायामि कावेरिकाम्.
See, our Achar family is so big. Formerly there were 5 houses and full of people and children. Altogether we were about 100 to 150 people. Now we can see only 3 or 4 houses here. All of us were born here only in this house, and in those days we were walking up to Bhagamandla, but we went up to Bhagamandla by walk to attend school. There were no vehicles in those days.
Life is so crude at that time, and everything had to be carried on their head, you know, all the way from Bhagamandla to Talkaveri.
3 ಮೈಲು ನಡೆದು ಹೋಗಬೇಕು ತಲಕಾವೇರಿಗೆ. ಹೋಗುವಾಗ ದಾರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಮೆಟ್ಟುಕಲ್ಲು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋ ಒಂದು ಜಾಗ ಇದೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೆಸರೇ ಮೆಟ್ಟುಕಲ್ಲು. ಮೆಟ್ಟುಕಲ್ಲು ಹತ್ತಿ ಬಂದು ಅಂತಲೇ ಕೇಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ದೂರ ಹೋಗುವಾಗ ಒಂದು ಸಲಾಂ ಕಲ್ಲು ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿತ್ರೆ ತಲಕಾವೇರಿ ದೇವಸ್ಥಾನ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಕಾಣ್ತದೆ ಆ ಸ್ಥಳದಲ್ಲಿ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಲಾಂ ಕಲ್ಲು ಅಂತ ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಈ ಟಿಪ್ಪು ಸುಲ್ತಾನ ಮೊದಲು ಎಲ್ಲ ದೇವಸ್ಥಾನಗಳನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನಾಶ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದಿದ್ದ. ಆ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಅವನು ತಲಕಾವೇರಿಗೆ ಬರುವಾಗ ಆ ಸ್ಥಳಕ್ಕೆ ಬರುವಾಗ ಈ ಇದು ದುಂಬಿಗಳು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, ಈ ಅವರನ್ನು ಕಚ್ಚಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದು ಅವನು ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದಲೇ ವಾಪಸ್ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ಸಲಾಂ ಹೊಡೆದು ಹೋದ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸಲಾಂ ಕಲ್ಲು ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಹೆಸರು. ಆ ಸಲಾಂ ಕಲ್ಲು ಸಿಗ್ತದೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಮತ್ತೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ದೂರ ಹೋದರೆ ದೇವಸ್ಥಾನ ಸಿಗ್ತದೆ.
ಮಳೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅದು 24 ಗಂಟೆಗೂ ಮಳೆ, ಒಂದು ಮನೆಯಿಂದ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಮನೆಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗೋಲ್ಲ. ಆಗ ನಾವು ಈ ಗೊರಗ ಅಂತ ಸಿಗ್ತಿತ್ತು, ಎಲೆಯಿಂದ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇವಂತ ಒಂದು ಕೊಡೆ ಗೊರಗ ಹಾಕ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು, ಅದನ್ನು ಹಾಕ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಾವು ಒಂದು ಮನೆಯಿಂದ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಮನೆಗೆ ಹೋಗೋದು. ಅದು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಬಾಗಿಲು, ಮನೆಯ ಬಾಗಿಲು ಅಲ್ಲದೆ ಹೊರಗಿನಿಂದ ಬೇರೆ ಬಾಗಿಲು ಇರ್ತಿತ್ತು, ಬಿದಿರಿನಿಂದ ಮಾಡಿದಂಥ ಇದು. ಮಳೆಗಾಲಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂಥದ್ದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಿ ನಾವು ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೆವು. ಇಡೀ ಗಾಳಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ತಡೀಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗೋಲ್ಲ, ಮಳೆಯೂ ಹಾಗೆ. ಅದರ ಎರಚಲು ಕಂಡಾಪಟ್ಟೆ ಎಳೆಯುತ್ತಿತ್ತು, ಹಾಗೆ ಒಳಗೆಲ್ಲ ಹೋಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗೋಲ್ಲ. ಅದು ಸ್ಲಿಪ್ಪರ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋದರೂ ಜಾರೋದು ಬೀಳೋದು.
ನಾನು ಸಣ್ಣದಿರುವಾಗಲಿ ಹೋಗಿ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು, ನಮ್ಮ ಅಜ್ಜನ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾನುವಾರುಗಳು ಕಟ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಆ ಜಾನುವಾರಿಗೆ ಬಂದು ಹುಲಿ ತಗೊಂಡು ಹೋದ್ದು ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ, ನಾನು ಸಣ್ಣದಿರುವಾಗ. ಮತ್ತು ಇದು ಎಂಥದ್ದು ಕೆನ್ನಾಯಿಗಳು, ವೈಲ್ಡ್ ಡಾಗ್, ಅದು ತುಂಬ ಇತ್ತು, ಈಗೆಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲ, ತುಂಬ ಇತ್ತು ನಾವು ಸಣ್ಣದಿರುವಾಗೆಲ್ಲ.
Many people do not know how difficult it is to stay over here and every year with getting lot of wind, water, thunderbolt and all these things. When this was inaccessible, with great hardship, they took the challenge and they lived here.
ಅದು ನಮ್ಮ ಅಜ್ಜನ ಮನೆ ನನಗೆ ಈಗಲೂ ನೆನಪೇನು ಅಂದರೆ, ಅದು ಮೇಲೆ ರಸ್ತೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಕೆಳಗೆ ಇಳಿದು ಬರಬೇಕು. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆವಾಗೆಲ್ಲ ಗೇಟ್ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾನು ಆ ಟೈಮಿದ್ದು ನೆನಪಿದ್ದು ನನಗೆ ಏನಂದರೆ, ಮಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲೊಂದು ಕೋಲು ಹಾಕಿರೋರು, ಅದರ ಸಂಧಿಯಿಂದ ಹೀಗೆ ಬರಬೇಕು. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಅದು ಹಸುಗಳು ದಾಟ್ಕೊಡ್ದು ಅಂತಂದು ಇಡೋದು, ಹಾಗೆ ಬರಬೇಕು. ಒಳಗೆ ಬಂದರೆ ಅಂಗಳದ ಸುತ್ತಲೂ ಕಾಂಪೌಂಡ್ ಒಂಥರ ಏನೋ ಕಟ್ಟಿರೋರು, ಹೀಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಗಿಡಗಳು, ಹೂವಿನ ಗಿಡಗಳು, ಎಲ್ಲ ಥರದ್ದು ಹೂವು, ಕಲರ್ ಹೂವಿಂದು ಗಿಡಗಳು, ಗುಲಾಬಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇರೋದು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಒಳಗೆ ಬಂದರೆ ಅದೊಂದು ಜಗುಲಿ, ಹಳೆ ಟೈಪಿದ್ದು. ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಒಳಗೆ ಹೋದರೆ ಮನೆಯ ಇದು ಎಲ್ಲ. ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ದೇವರ ಕೊಣೆ.
My father's name was Ramanna Achar. Ramanna Achar was the head of the family in Talkaveri, and he was a very brave and honest and upright man. And the people who lived there were his two brothers, younger brothers, and one third person, a cousin younger brother. At one time in that house, the people eating together all at one time were about 30 people. There is a big hall there in which all of them used to squat on the floor, eat food all together. All of them lived under one house with their families.
ನನ್ನ ಅಜ್ಜ ರಾಮಣ್ಣಾಚಾರ್ಯರು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಟೆಂಪಲ್ನ ಪ್ರಿಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದರು. ಅವರು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇತ್ತಲ್ಲಿ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಪಿಲ್ಗ್ರಿಮ್ಸ್ ಬರೋರಿದ್ದರು, ಎಲ್ಲ ಬ್ಯಾಂಗ್ಳೂರು, ಮೈಸೂರು, ಮದ್ರಾಸು ಈ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದೆಲ್ಲ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇರುವ ಕಾರಣ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಜನರ ಸಂಪರ್ಕ ತುಂಬ ಇತ್ತು. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಬೆಳಿಗ್ಗೆಯೂ ಸಂಜೆಯೂ 2 ಹೊತ್ತು ಆಗಲೇಬೇಕಲ್ಲಿ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇವರ ಮನೆಯಿಂದ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ನಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಬೇಕು, ಮೆಟ್ಟಿಲುಗಳಿದ್ದೆ ಇದ್ದಾವೆ ತುಂಬ. ಈಗ ಮಾರ್ಗ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಹಾಗೆ ಒಂದು ಕಾಡು ಪ್ರದೇಶ ಆಗಿತ್ತಲ್ಲ. ಮತ್ತು ನನ್ನ ಅಜ್ಜನ ಪೂಜೆ ಕ್ರಮ ಬೇರೆ ಇದು. ಅವರ ಪೂಜೆ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಉದ್ದ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅವರ ಅರ್ಚನೆಗಳಾಗಲಿ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಹೊತ್ತು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಮಾತ್ರ ಅದು ಏನಪ್ಪ, ಅದು ನಮಗೆ ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು ಏನು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದರೆ, ಈಗ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಎಂಥದ್ದು ದೇವರ ಕಾವೇರಮ್ಮನ ಹತ್ರ ಮಾತಾಡುವಾಗ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
Their home is in the middle of a valley and surrounded by a number of hills. They had cows and calves at that time. So in the morning, the cows would go off roaming on the hills, eating all the grass, and the cows also would follow. One of the things my grandfather did was to make sure that these cows would not fall off the deep cliff. Is he would collect all the little rocks so the cows would not step on those pieces of rock and fall down accidentally. And every time he walked around, he collected and made little heaps of these rocks, which you can still find today when you go to the hills of Talkaveri.
See, he used to run the cardamom estate given by the government as lease land. I still remember, a lot of workers used to come from that Malay, talk to my grandfather, and he was giving them instructions and all that. I still remember that, and he was really good at this administration.
The trek from Talakaveri to this estate called Malay, I remember it took something like 3 or 4 hours of walking, and took us through the middle of the jungle. It was during the monsoon season, so there was heavy downpour, rainfall, and finally when we reached the estate, it was fascinating for me at that age to see everything in that area and what my grandfather had done and built, and how hard he had worked to do everything that he had done.
ಸಂಗೀತ ಸ್ವತಃ ಅವರು ಅಭ್ಯಾಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು, ಕೇಳಿ ಕೇಳಿ. ಹಾಗೆಲ್ಲ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಆದರೂ ಅವರು ಕೇಳಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದವರು ಸಂಗೀತ ಹಾಡೋದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಕೇಳಿ ಅವರೇ ಹಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು.
The natural beauty of the environment and the enchanting wilderness make ground for many mystical and spiritual events that have been experienced by members of the Achar family.
ಇವರ ಚಿಕ್ಕಪ್ಪ ಪೂಜೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಿ ಸಾಯಂಕಾಲ ಮಳೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂಥೇಳಿ ಒಂದು ಶೆಡ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಮಳೆ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಕೂತಿರುವಾಗ ಒಬ್ಬರು ಜನ ಆ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ನಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬರ್ತಾಯಿದ್ರು. ಆ ಮಳೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಕೊಡೆ ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬರ್ತಾಯಿದ್ರು. ಅವ್ರು ಬಂದು ಭವತಿ ಭಿಕ್ಷಾಂದೇಹಿ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರಂತೆ. ಆವಾಗ ನಮ್ಮ ಇವ್ರದ್ದು ಚಿಕ್ಕಪ್ಪ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಆಹಾರ ಕೊಟ್ಟರು ಅವರಿಗೆ. ಅವರು ತಗೊಂಡು ವಾಪಸ್ ಹೋಗುವಾಗ ಇವ್ರು ನೋಡ್ತಾರಂತೆ, ಅಷ್ಟು ಮಳೆ ಬರ್ತಾಯಿದೆ, ಅಷ್ಟು ನೀರಿದೆ, ಅವ್ರ ಕಾಲು ಮಾತ್ರ ಧೂಳು ಹಾಗೇ ಇತ್ತಂತೆ, ಡ್ರೈ ಆಗಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಡಸ್ಟಿ ಹಾಗೇ ಇದ್ರಂತೆ. ಅದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಮುಂದೆ ಹೋಗೋಕೆ ಅವರು ಮತ್ತೆ ಕಾಣಲೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅದೊಂದು ಅವರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾಯಿದ್ರು, ಚಿಕ್ಕಪ್ಪ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು ಕತೆ ಅವರು.
This is another interesting story. This was experienced by my brother, Keshwachar, and he was performing the puja as usual. He went there in the morning and then he did his puja there, and then he stayed down there till the evening to perform the evening puja. Then he performed the puja and wound up everything there inside the complex. Then it becomes quiet. There is no human being, there is nothing at that place. Suddenly becomes all quiet. So when he was just stepping out of the compound to go down to his house, which is about 200 feet below, he found something strange. There are lots of light, lots of people chanting mantra, lots of people talking, as though some function is going on inside. And he heard that, he also saw the light. But he didn't turn back and see what it was, and he never went back. And he went down and went home. And this was narrated by him, which he has experienced in his life. Very strange, we do not know what, but something very great about it, you know. These are all some things which cannot be explained. Some energy, some power, this thing is there in that place.
All the ladies who are there in Talkaveri, we should always think about them. They are also ladies rededicated for the cause of Kaveri. They came and gave all the menfolk the human life. They went and met all the extremities in life in that hillock area. They became a part of our complete life. They gave us generations forward to go forward.
Our house was a great feeding place at that time because my mother was so hospitable. Mother used to go to the temple every day, every morning, without fail, 365 days. Took her bath every morning in that pond. That used to be her life, you know, that kind of dedicated life to Kaveri river.
ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಅಜ್ಜಿ ಅಂತೂ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಚಂದ ಅಡುಗೆ ಮಾಡೋರು, ರುಚಿ ರುಚಿ ಅಡುಗೆ, ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಖುಷಿ. ಕುಣಿಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಜೊತೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಆಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅದು ಬಹಳ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿತ್ತು.
So growing up, I spent a lot of time with my grandmother, and she was a good storyteller. One of the stories was about, of course, Talakaveri and my grandfather. So I would ask her to tell her this story many, many times about my grandfather, what he did, how he worked, what kind of person he was, and also what she did in Talakaveri and about the Kaveri River and the birth of Kaveri and so forth. So that had a lot of influence on me because I was very close to her. And at that time I didn't realize the importance of all these stories. But as I grew up and in the last few years, I've been reminded of all these stories and how lucky I was to have spent time with her and hearing these stories from her.
My father was highly religious. He was a good priest. He was a good mason. He's a good carpenter. He was a good cook himself. He has done yeoman service for his own people. And my mother, very noble, God-fearing, also along with my elder brother, who is disabled in the age of 2, because of his Brahma Tapassu, his concentration of the God, we were both able to continue in Bangalore with respect, with all ambitions fulfilled by the grace of God and grace of father, mother, and our elder brother.
My uncle, we used to call him Gopalachar. He was my guru and he was disabled. Earlier, he used to crawl and go to the temple and he was performing pujas there. And a lot of people from Kundapura used to come and ask for him only to perform the puja because he was so meticulous and he was very good at performing puja and mantras and all that. So easily he used to recite. And of late, he got one 3-wheel cycle. With that, he used to go there and perform pujas. And you may not believe it, he normally leaves the house around 8 o'clock in the morning, goes there, till 4:30, 5 o'clock he used to be there without taking even a single glass of water. It's amazing, hats off to him, and almost till 85 years age he was performing the puja. When I was young, maybe about 4.5 to 5 years old, I had my schooling there for about 6 months. He used to teach me Kannada, mathematics.
My family has lived here. My father has been a priest of this place till his last days for about 84 years in his life.
The people and their personalities, they have very crisp way of speaking and at the same time very humorous, and they're able to convey so much. They're very communicative, very vocal, and have very affectionate personalities.
Today maybe around 2,800 family members are there. They have gone outside, they have embraced different professions. There are doctors, there are engineers, there are lawyers, there are businessmen.
The kind of sacrifices that the Achar family has done, the kind of tradition that has been maintained, the spirituality that has been showered on not only people who are there, but overall on River Kaveri as well. So I think this is very, very important.
I also have to bring food into the picture. The tastiest food that we've ever eaten was in Talkaveri, and it was the simplest of simplest food, most traditionally made in a small kitchen with no big appliances, but some of the tastiest food, tastiest meals prepared by the Achar women, and with all the local fruits and vegetables and like the bamboo kanile, it's called.
ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಕ್ಕಿ ರೊಟ್ಟಿ ಇವರೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, ಏನು ಕೂರ್ಗಿಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, ಆ ಟೈಪಿನ ಅಕ್ಕಿ ರೊಟ್ಟಿ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾವಿನ ಹಣ್ಣಿನ ರಸಾಯನ ಅದನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು ರಸ್ತೆಗೆ. ಅದನ್ನು ತಿಂದದ್ದು ಈಗಲೂ ನೆನಪಿದೆ, ಅಷ್ಟು ರುಚಿ. ಆ ಥರದ್ದು ಅಕ್ಕಿ ರೊಟ್ಟಿ ಆಗಲಿ ರಸಾಯನ ಈಗ ನನಗೆ ನೆನಪು, ಆ ಥರದ್ದು ಆ ರುಚಿಯೇ ಬಾಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ನೂ ಇದೆ ಅನಿಸುತ್ತೆ, ಅಷ್ಟು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿತ್ತು.
The family home of the Achars was always an open house that fed hundreds of pilgrims who visited Talakaveri. One such exceptional pilgrim was Field Marshal K.M. Karyappa, Commander-in-Chief of the Indian Army, who visited the Achar home and exclaimed, "Awesome food," while savoring the meal that was offered to him. One prominent mystical event at the Talakaveri is, of course, the Tulasankramana. This is an event of great importance not only to the Achar family but to thousands of devotees who come from every corner of the country to witness this unusual phenomenon of the river springing to life at the appointed hour, year after year.
ಕಾವೇರಿಯಮ್ಮ ನದಿಯಾಗಿ ಕೆಳಗೆ ಇಳಿದು
ಹೋದರು. ಅಗಸ್ತ್ಯ ಮುನಿಗಳು ನೋಡುವಾಗ ಕಾವೇರಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಹುಡುಕ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದರು. ಹೋಗುವಾಗ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಕ್ಕಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಬಾಗಳ್ಳಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದರು. ಅವರೆಲ್ಲ ಹೋಗಿ ಕಾವೇರಮ್ಮನ ಹತ್ರ ಪ್ರಾರ್ಥನೆ ಮಾಡಿದರು. ನಮಗೆ ನೀವು ಬೇಕು, ನಿಮ್ಮ ವೈಭವ ನಮಗೆ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಬೇಕು ಅಂತೇಳಿ. ಆಗ ಕಾವೇರಮ್ಮ ಹೇಳ್ತಿರತ್ತೆ, ನಾನು ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೊಮ್ಮೆ ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಬಂದು ನೋಡ್ತೇನೆ, ಅದು ಕೂಡ ಕಾವೇರಿ ಸಂಕ್ರಮಣ ಅಂದರೆ ತುಲಾ ಮಾಸದ ಸಂಕ್ರಮಣ ದಿವಸ ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಬಂದು ನೋಡ್ತೇನೆ. ಆಗ ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಆಶೀರ್ವದಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಮಾತ್ರವಲ್ಲದೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ನಾಡು ವೈಭವದಿಂದ ಸಿರಿ ಸಂಪತ್ತಿನಿಂದ ತುಂಬುವ ಹಾಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಂತೆ. ಹಾಗೆ ಕಾವೇರಿಯಮ್ಮ ಕೇವಲ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕವನ್ನು ಮಾತ್ರ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಸಿರಿನಾಡಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು. ಮುಂದೆ ತಮಿಳುನಾಡನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಸಿರಿನಾಡನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಮುಂದೆ ಹೋದರು.
On 17th of October every year there will be a big gathering of people, and that is because that is supposed to be the day of Tirthodbhava Punyakala. That is the moment when sun crosses into Tula Rashi.
ಆ ಟೈಮಿಗೆ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಕಾವೇರಿ ಉದ್ಭವ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ. ಅದು ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದರೆ, ಗಂಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಜನ ಹೋಗಿ ಗಂಗೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅವ್ರ ಪಾಪಗಳನ್ನು ಕಳ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಆ ಗಂಗೆಗೆ ಶುದ್ಧ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಅವಳು ಕಾವೇರಿಗೆ ಬಂದು ಶುದ್ಧಳಾಗ್ತಾಳೆ ಅಂಥೇಳಿ ಕತೆ ಅದು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅದನ್ನು.
At that particular moment there will be some increase of water level in that Brahmakundika. So Kaveri is supposed to be holier than Ganga.
Well, during Sankramana, we used to serve the people by splashing the Kaveri Tirtha onto the pilgrims. That's how we were serving the people.
ಅರ್ಚಕ ಕುಟುಂಬ ಮತ್ತು ತಲಕಾವೇರಿ ತಕ್ಕ ಕುಟುಂಬ ಒಂದು ನಾಣ್ಯದ ಎರಡು ಮುಖ ಇದ್ದಂತೆ. ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಪರಸ್ಪರ ಹೊಂದಾಣಿಕೆ, ಈ ಸಂಪ್ರದಾಯಗಳನ್ನು ಅನುಸರಿಸಿಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗುವುದಕ್ಕೆ ತಕ್ಕವರೆಷ್ಟು ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರರು, ಹಾಗೆ ಪರಿಪೂರ್ಣ ಲೋಕ ಜನ ಹಿತಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಸ್ಥಳ ದೋಷ ಬರದಂತೆ ಪೂಜೆ ಸಲ್ಲಿಸುವುದಕ್ಕೆ ಅರ್ಚಕರು ಸಮೇತ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಾಧ್ಯಸ್ಥರಾಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
This living God that is, you can see the river even now. You don't have to imagine a story or imagine a God in your head to pray. This is a living God, and so this is the uniqueness I find in this story after I have joined this family.
Kaveri is our life. She gives life to us. She gives prosperity. She gives health. She gives money. She gives everything that we want in our life. That is Kaveri. We believe her.
The river Kaveri is always there to take care of me. And it proved true also. When I was very sick, I survived. So I always pray River Kaveri. In my all difficult times, I pray River Kaveri.
See, in the life, there are so many fluctuations that there, but whereas because of Kaverimma, I can face any difficulties in the life. That is the only spirit which Kaverimma gave to me.
ನನಗೆ ತುಂಬ ಭಯ ಭಕ್ತಿ ಇದೆ ಕಾವೇರಿ. ಎಲ್ಲ ದಿವಸ ಕುಲದೇವತೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮಕ್ಕಳನ್ನ ಕಾಪಾಡು ಅಂತ ದಿವಸ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಅಷ್ಟು ನನಗೆ ಅವಳು ಇಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಾಳೆ ಕಾವೇರಿ.
You feel like all of your worries have gone away. You feel very, very connected and very down to earth, and whatever problems that everybody is having seem so small compared to what you're feeling at the time. being in that place at that moment. It's a very big place, but at the same time it's a very small place. And so it's quite a contrast when you look at those things.
I know every stone and every tree and every corner of this valley, and it's a part of my being.
I did my own mind to preserve the river, to preserve the ecology, and to dedicate the temple to the cause of the world. So I worked after my retirement for nearly about 6 years for rebuilding of the temple, rebuilding of the area, and of course to give a clean image. So wherever you are Talakaveri. So we are Talakaveri. She has united us. We have lived for us, and until the end we are for her.
At the home we live in Westlake, right behind our backyard. You can see hills, which reminds us of very much of Talakaveri. The landscape is green. We have some mountains. During the rainy season, we get some pretty heavy rains. And also, because we're close to the ocean, the Pacific Ocean, we see many times the fog coming in. So it reminds us a lot of Talakaveri. While remembering significant people in my life, I want to include my grandparents from my mother's side, Tumkurajaya and Dodama, or as I used to call her, Tumkurama. They have visited Talakaveri a few times with us. They enjoyed the history of the place, the home.
So the big picture we have to keep in mind is how can the Kaveri tradition be continued? And I think based on the attraction and the inspiration of Kaveri and the surrounding place, the divinity and the spirituality, it still continues to attract so many people that I have hope that the next generation will see that and will feel a connection towards it and will continue the tradition.
ಹಿರಿಯರು ನಡೆಸಿಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದಂಥ ವೃತ್ತಿಯನ್ನು ನಮ್ಮ ಈ ತಲೆಮಾರಿನವರು ಕೂಡ ಅದನ್ನು ಬಹಳ ಶ್ರದ್ಧೆಯಿಂದ ಒಂದು ಪವಿತ್ರ ನಮಗೆ ದೇವರು ಕೊಟ್ಟಂಥ ಒಂದು ವರ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳುವಂಥ ಒಂದು ಭಾವನೆಯಿಂದ ಕಾವೇರಿಯ ಒಂದು ಋಣವನ್ನು ನಮ್ಮ ಜನ್ಮದಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೊಂದು ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ಅವಕಾಶವನ್ನು ಆ ತಾಯಿ ಕರುಣಿಸಿದ್ದಾಳೆ ಅಂಥೇಳಿ ಆ ಒಂದು ಭಗವದ್ಭಕ್ತಿಯಿಂದ ಈ ಸೇವಾ ಕಾರ್ಯವನ್ನು ನಾವು ನಡೆಸಿಕೊಂಡು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ.
My elder son, after graduation, he wanted to take up this puja and all. My son got interested and he took up this profession and he is with me now and we are carrying on here.
The dream I used to get in my childhood days in Talakaveri, even after that, even now, flying in the air like birds. I fly over the mountains and valleys, not over cities. It's usually over Talakaveri. This is something which I enjoyed in my life. Happiest of my time is when I spend my days in Talakaveri. That's a unique place. I have never seen a place like that on the face of this earth. It's so beautiful, so calm, so unique, so nice.
So here flows a river for millions of years, and here is observed a tradition for hundreds of years, each complementing and sustaining the other, where water is not just water, but tirtha, a deity, a holy phenomenon.
Kakaro kalusham hanti रेकारो वाञ्छितप्रदः ह्रीकारो मोक्षदं नृणां कावेरी इति अवधारय.